This video's made for adult collectors because unrelated, but look at my model kit shelf, it's growing. And I plan on buying more later, Oh shit, I was gonna do like a because it's Jaws 50th anniversary, but I dropped it. Heatwave kinda sucked. I kinda want, that's not how I started this I can't speak English, good lord. I was kinda set on Red Alert being my favorite Generations Voyager of the year. He's solid, sturdy, and fun to mess with. I broke mine, but that's my fault. Then I got Sky-byte, and that like changed immediately.
He doesn't even fit in the frame, the same frame as this. He's so tall.
This toy was one of the ones that kept surprising me as I messed with it more and more, and I wasn't really excited for this when they revealed it. There are a lot of neat tricks that this does that make him shoot up higher than any Voyager that's come out so far this year in both modes. This is Sky-byte from Age of the Primes, and he becomes a shark. And this was purchased at Walmart Canada. Here's the box, not sponsored. I love the colors. They're so vibrant and work so well together. I love the shade of yellow and the silver on the chest. He is using that unpainted gray that I'm not a huge fan of, that I wish was a little bit darker here, but it does match with that lighter silver that they used, so it looks less out of place and more like it belongs. The plastic feels insanely solid for a modern Voyager, like just as solid as Red Alert, but bigger. And I mean bigger. This thing is huge for a Voyager. Let's pop him next to some leader class toys, old and new. He is large. And it's not like he's not beefy either. The legs may be slim, but the back section and the upper body are very well built. The fins do stick out of the back a bit awkwardly, but they are on 5mm pegs, so you can just remove them and give them to him as like swords. They came on a sprue, and like, there are loads of toys that come with bits on sprues, like Ninja Turtles still do that sometimes, so I'm not bothered. I just wish they were pop off the sprue and not you need tools. Because like, if you buy this for a little kid, they won't be able to twist them off. You have to like clip them. There are only two issues I have with this, and they are both my copy issues. This shoulder pad is a bit loose, it likes to droop, and then this shoulder likes to come unpegged because the shoulder joint itself is stronger than the transformation peg. Head sculpt is fantastic. Ow, I just punched my desk by accident. Look, it has an expression. I love that. The gold on the face is real clean and the eyes are so beady, and then his fin and his knees can do that sort of cheat thing, so you can make it look like his knee is going up higher even though the thigh is actually disjointed because it can't go up that far. It makes photography easier given the right angles, and you can get him so low to the ground. By the way, none of the fins are made of that soft material. Everything is solid, so I'm not worried about melting or degrading in the future. He's just a banger robot mode.
So I was kind of expecting this to be like both the Thrilling 30 and the original, where it was posable but weird. This isn't, and it does a lot of really cool things that I wasn't expecting it to do when I first got it out of the box. So to start with, I thought the head was just going to be a swivel, but no, it's on a ball joint. You can look up that far and you can look down that far. It's not a lot, but like, it's better than nothing. You've got a full 360 at the head, not a lot of tilt. I kind of wish there was a bit more given the character. These can move, they're on hinges and they swivel. They're literally on 5mm pegs, so you can take Red Alert here and you could plug him in if you want. Oh, there, you can do that if you, okay, that's not gonna work. But like I said, this one is, it's a little loose at this angle, but that's fine. And then this shoulder does that. But the shoulders can do a full 360 degrees. They can go out that far. They can't do a full T-pose because of the little fin at the top. You have your elbow joint, you got a bicep rotation above the elbow. This wrist can rotate and these can fold up and down, and the pincers can pincer, which is really nice. And on this side, I wasn't expecting this because for transformation, the hand has to do that, right? So I was like, okay, there's no room for a waist swivel or wrist swivel, sorry, because of all this. No, they moved it up the arm a little bit. He has a wrist joint. I wasn't expecting that. So you can rotate this wrist if you want. That's awesome. He does have a waist joint and the shark mouth does get in the way, fortunately. Just move it. And then you can do a full 360 at the waist, so you have all the range there, which is awesome. Legs can go forward about that far. They can't do a full like 90-degree bend forward due to the sculpting, which is why I like the whole cheating the knee thing. They can go back. You just move the jaw out of the way and they can go back that far. They can go out that far. You have thigh rotation, which is sculpted up here, but it doesn't actually impede the thigh swivel, which is nice. You have 90 degrees or a little over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and if you want to, you can unpeg the knee to like get a little bit more. And then the feet can go down, they can't go up. There's no rotation here, which I thought there was going to be because the original had that, but it does have ankle tilt. Very, very posable figure. if you're able to get around like that and yours doesn't have a loose shoulder. But yeah, he's extremely well articulated for something like this. I wasn't expecting that at all.
So other than those loose things on mine, I have absolutely no issues with the robot mode. Like I said, I wasn't super hyped for this figure as much as everyone else was, but it has so far exceeded my expectations. I think what helps is that I've messed with the other two versions of this character and they weren't great, but let's make him a shark.
This is almost nothing like the original or the Thrilling 31, which is great. Whoa, head rush. Oh, I stood up way too fast. But it's just very, very neat how this thing works. It's a little finicky at first. Like when you first get it, it's kind of like, okay, what the hell am I doing? But it makes a lot of sense. So to start with, we're going to fold up the claw and then just sort of knock Red Alert over and just sort of bring the arms out like that. We're going to take these. These, I find it's best to leave them this way with the tech stuff facing you. Straighten out the head. Take the back section here and then just pull it, because it tabs in right back here, and this entire section is going to shift down. Then we're going to take the arms, bring them out on these little hinges here, straighten them out, and then this one slides up while this one slides down. And you rotate this arm 90 degrees and bring it out, and you rotate this arm 90 degrees and bring it out, and you fold the fist up, and then it's going to peg into the tail. Let's just get it all situated there and clip that into place. And there's your tail. So now what we're going to do is take the legs here and bring them down. We're going to straighten this out and then peg them together at the feet, fold the lower jaw in, and then accordion this up and it will peg into the thighs. So you just clip that into both sections there and just line everything up properly. Now we want to bring this and then fold this that way, line the head up, bring this entire assembly down, and those two pegs that pegged in for the backpack are going to peg into the back of the thighs. So you get this entire assembly accordioned properly, and then you just peg all that together, straighten it all out like that. And then you want to take these sections here, bring them out. This one's already come out on this side. And then they are going to rotate down. So you just sort of flex them a little bit, rotate them down. These hinges aren't built so you can push them around that. These sections here, they have these little pegs inside here that are going to peg into that gray section. So you just want to line that up on both sides and get that snapped together, and then it will peg in at the back fin here. Then you bring this section down, take this section, accordion it, make sure the jaw is open, and it's got little divots on either side here that are going to go over these sections. Also the gun stores right there. So you take it and you just bring it over and it will clip into place. Then you take these, slide them in, and there you have the shark mode. We'll just make sure everything's like pushed together properly, give it a good squeeze. There you have the shark mode. That's so nice to do back and forth. It's so much nicer to do than this thing, who does not want to stay together on mine right now. Like nothing wants to stay pegged in. This is so much better.
That is such a cool shark. The entire thing is asymmetrical. I love all the mechanical details with the dark gray gradient into the blue on the side of the shark. There is no stand port on this mode, which is the only thing I don't like about this. It's weird. There is a 5mm port, so you can have 5mm stands, but like every other Transformer uses that 3mm stand port size, and this just doesn't have that on here. It's a bit weird. It is a very solid alt mode. Everything has enough pegs to clamp the entire shark shut. It's great. But this shark does have articulation, and it's a lot more than you might think.
So yeah, the shark has articulation. Sharkticulation, I'm so sorry. The mouth can close and can open, which is more than I can say for any other Sky-byte figure. It can open that far and it can close that far. And then the fins here can rotate. And that's normally all you get out of a Sky-byte. I mean, like I said, you usually don't get the jaw articulation either. But they added head articulation. He can look down, and they have all this nice detail to fill in this space so that it doesn't like look disjointed. However, when you move it up, the mouth doesn't go with, so you just have to move that manually, but that's fine. But you have head articulation there. And then they made sure to point this out, that like reveal event they had in Florida. But the tail is articulated because both elbows match up here, so you can do that. However, one thing I noticed, the way that the shoulder assembly is done in here, right? If you twist the tail, the elbows stay lined up. So you can pose the tail literally wherever you want. Oops, I've unpegged it. You can go down like that on both sides. You can go up, right? You have all that, and then you can rotate the tail fin. So I could rotate this up like this, bring this down, open up the mouth, and there you have him in like a really interesting sort of curve, and it's not permanent. because the originals, right, the originals is permanent. Same with the Thrilling 30 one, it's permanent going down. This one, you can do the whole, if I stop unpegging the torso, you can do the whole tail going down thing. So you can give it the Thrilling 30 arch if you want to. Or you can just like spin the tail that way, have the head up as if he's like swimming. I love this little tail thing. It's fantastic. It does, as you can see, bump into this little seam here every once in a while and split these apart, but like, that's so cool the way that works.
I highly recommend getting this. It's so good. Mine has some issues in that shoulder, but like, other than that, it's fantastic. The colors, the solidity, the articulation, the clever engineering it does, it's really good. But that's my look at Age of the Prime Sky-byte. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.